So, bonus hour of the morning show. A bonus hour of Mason and Ireland is going to start in about 5 minutes as well. John Ireland joining us in studio right now.
Never a dull moment here.
No,
huh?
yes, Chris.
Hey, what's up?
We got Mason on top of that.
We are. Tomorrow, now, Trav, I was just talking to Tommy, our promotions director, and we got a little lucky here. Had the golf been scheduled for today, they would have canceled it.
For sure.
You know, because of all the breaking news.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, it's game on. Are you ready?
I'm as ready as I'm going to be.
That's my answer, too.
How is your game, Travis?
My game is hit and miss.
Yeah, hit and miss.
Yeah.
Travis, this is how I would say it. I'm thinking you're in this boat. My score is going to start with an 8 or a 9. It could be an 81. It could be a 99. I'll be somewhere in that range.
I've played that golf course enough to know 81 is a long shot for me out there.
Yeah, well then it's probably for me too. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, you had something that before we went to break, your tease about it could be something else. That it could be the things we've been talking about for the last 5 hours, or...
Yes, but first, if I were playing, it'd be some 5 or 6. That's what my score would start off with.
100?
Yeah, probably.
No. LZ, I can teach you how to golf. I play with Worthy all the time. I played James Worthy, and when he started, he was a mess, and now he's really good.
I'm just not old enough yet.
That's probably true.
Yeah, it's true.
Are we drinking during this thing tomorrow?
A little bit. But
well, after we play 2 or 3 holes, we probably both are.
So there is one other theory, and I'm not necessarily saying that this was all part of his calculus yesterday, because I don't think there was a lot of calculus yesterday. But if part of the things that irritates Magic Johnson is being handcuffed, as he categorized it, not being able to be the statesman that he is. Well, now guess what he gets to be for the Lakers now? The ultimate recruiter. Now he gets to just go and look KD in the face and, what's up, my dog? Come on down here. We're going to hire Bob Myers. You already like him.
Right, but won't
Come on down here, hang out.
Won't KD say to him, well, why'd you leave?
And then he'll tell him the truth.
Do we want that?
Well, to answer your question, my point is he can communicate now with free agents
because he's not
in a way that he couldn't when he was team president. He get to be Magic, and Magic, the ultimate recruiter, if you will. Now, there are stories that he tried to recruit Carmelo Anthony, and it didn't work out. There are stories that he tried to recruit other players, and it didn't work out. But at least now he can have these one-on-one conversations the way he's accustomed to without being, quote-unquote, handcuffed by, I don't know, the rules of being an employee.
So we've been talking about this all day, John. It's the first thing I asked you when you came on with us a few hours ago. And Mace, I haven't gotten your... When you heard, what was it, about 5, 6 o'clock yesterday?
Yeah, Mason, had you heard before you got my text?
Yes, I had just heard because I went to ESPN.com and looked for the Dodgers score, and immediately right across the top, Magic Johnson resigns.
I sent Mason a 3-word text when I walked into the hallway. Magic just quit. And I went, but you already knew about that.
Your response was what?
Completely stunned. I mean, there was no indication that he was going to quit. There was no indication that he was going to walk away from this job. Now, yesterday there was some stuff, particularly in the Bill Oram article, that I thought was really good, where he characterized Magic Johnson as an absentee executive. And we'd heard that around amongst NBA people, that he wasn't doing the work that needed to be done on an everyday basis to be the president of basketball operations. This is a really tough job, and this has got to be an all-consuming job. And it doesn't sound like Magic was willing to make that level of commitment and to give up all of the other stuff, all of the recruiting and the ambassadorship and the tweeting and the talking about other guys' games, all that stuff. He didn't want to give all that stuff up, and it sounds like that's one of the primary reasons he said, I've had enough.
Yeah, it's really important to keep the differentiation between someone who's not willing to do the work and someone who's not willing to do a type of work.
Yeah,
Magic Johnson
absolutely.
is not a lazy person.
No.
But
the opposite.
He didn't want to invest his time doing that kind of work. And that's what they needed. They didn't need Magic Johnson. They needed an employee. And he hasn't been an employee, I don't think, since he was like at Michigan State, maybe at some point.
Yeah, and that job is for a grinder.
Yes.
You got to grind day in and day out.
So is this just the culmination of a bunch of little things that had just, I can't tweet. I can't be Magic. I don't want to go travel the world looking in gyms in Croatia for the next play. I don't want to do all of this sort of thing. Or was it an emotional response to something that happened and it just bubbled over in that moment? Just, you know what? I just don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah, I think it's the latter. And the only reason I think that is because why would you impromptu resign in the hallway on the last game of the season.
Right.
If it was the former, I think that's something you take your time, deliberate, and do it during the week. He held a ask any question you want 45-minute. I'm out of here. What do you want to know? It was almost like when
it was almost like you were saying farewell. You're not going to hear from me.
No, it's
for a
the
while.
Politician. In politics, LZ, you know this, that if you go through any type of a crisis, you have a talk till they drop press conference. You basically get in front of a microphone, in front of a room of the angriest media you can find, and you stand there until you say, "Anybody got anything else?" And you answer everything. And that's what Magic reminded me of yesterday.
He was KSPN Los Angeles.
Yeah. He was going to stay there until everybody punched themselves out.
Yeah.
But there's a great shot, by the way, I don't know whose camera angle it is, of Andy Kamenetsky standing directly to Magic's left when he first says, "So I'm going to step down." And Andy's eyes fly open to the point of, just like what you just did. Just like, what? Wait, what is happening here? We should get Andy on today, Craig, because he was like, his reaction in real time was like, did he just say that? What?
It's absolutely crazy because this is the off season that he's been building toward.
Yeah,
right.
This
The back, as you guys know, the back.
Right. This is the
Yeah.
magic
Yes.
time. This is where you close the deal. This is why you signed Lance Stevenson to a 1-year
Which
deal.
is why I
You can
have-
have this moment.
Right. This is why I have a hard time believing that this was something that was being built towards. Because you don't leave now. Now is we're about to start free agency. You're about to go into the draft. You're about to go into the most important offseason that this franchise has had in a really long time.
Although there's
and you
there's
bail
some
now.
stuff there. I mean, he was definitely chilly when talking about Rob Pelinka. There was not a full-throated endorsement of Rob.
And we'll get into this, Mace. I think there's a chance that Rob actually ascends.
Right.
Yeah.
Ramona Shelburne's reporting his power is expected to grow.
Right.
I'm like, what? Why would his power grow at this point?
Because Magic's not there to be above
But
it.
there was a crisis in confidence in the front office, and if Magic wasn't doing necessarily the level of day-to-day that the average president of basketball operations does, that means Rob Pelinka has been doing all this little stuff along the way. The sort of the blocking and tackling that needs to happen. I think LA, man, this is an opportunity to go out and hire somebody who has done this before.
Who do you want?
I'm okay with David Griffin. I think they talked to Messiah Jury. I think they talked to every Neil O'Shea. I think they talked to every good basketball executive in the league, and they do a full and exhaustive search and decide who that right person is, and then hand him the keys to the franchise.
You don't think Messiah is tainted after the way he handled DeMar DeRozan?
I do not.
And what was wrong with the way he handled DeMar DeRozan?
Oh, dog, you can stay. I got you, dog. I got you. Oh, yeah. Can I have your
Rob
passport?
Pelinka told Larry Nance go ahead and buy a house.
Yes, he did. Because real
Right
estate in
before
LA
he
is
traded
good.
him.
Yeah,
Real
I think
estate
that
in LA is a good
these are
investment.
general managers. Who was it? Mace Brown, who said you'll be tolerated until you can be replaced.
No question.
So that's what GMs do.
Can it be
Boris
both of
DeMille
those
says,
things?
I will always love you.
Well, can it be where Rob ascends and consolidates some power, and they go on this search to find the next guy?
100%.
You
Could
can
be
do
that.
both.
Or
Could be
gal.
that.
Or
Yeah.
Well,
no.
who gets the final say in the room then?
Exactly.
In other words, you're going to say, Rob Pelinka, your power is growing, but we're going to hire a new president of basketball
Who gets the-
operations.
Or Rob ascends to Magic's old
God.
role, and he hires the GM.
Oh, we
But
do not
ultimately
need a
the call would be
rookie
Rob's.
president of basketball operations again.
I agree with you.
I think that will be the sentiment for most people, but I can just tell you this as somebody who knows a little bit over there. Rob is very well thought of inside that building. Outside the building, I know it's a different story.
People don't like Rob Pelinka.
But
don't want to take his phone
inside
calls.
the building, it's the opposite. They take all his phone. If you get an internal call,
Well, you
they
work
take
for
it.
him. You have no choice.
What about the how?
So if Anthony Davis worked for the Lakers, he would be able to answer the phone call.
Yes, he would. He would take Rob Pelinka's call.
Well, you know, LZ, I
Absolutely
can't
right.
speak about
I
players
know.
under contract to other teams. Yeah, and he still is, right?
Yes, he is.
Even though he
Yes, he
wore a
is.
shirt yesterday that said, "That's all."
That's all,
folks."
folks.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about the how, guys? What about the way that it went down? Not that he decided to leave.
Never seen
but
anything
the
like it.
way that he decided to leave.
Wow.
Does it stick with him, Mason, in the sense that
It was like Nick Nolte and Blue Chips, LZ.
Are we talking about how Magic did it wrong? Because he left him in a terrible position.
It is weird that he left the way he did. It is weird that he did it without talking to Jeannie Buss first. His
I wish he
sister-
would have lied, Mace.
What's up? Pretended like he did.
Pretended like he did.
Yeah.
Don't let her look so
stupid.
stupid.
I just talked to Jeannie,
Yes.
and I agree with you. It's the weirdest thing. It's almost like a man up and have that
Well,
conversation.
How about this? He didn't tell LeBron.
Yeah.
LeBron.
Although there was a
didn't know.
meeting between those guys,
Right,
on
and it never
Saturday,
came
and
up.
It never came up.
That was his
Because-
exit meeting. That
Yeah.
was LeBron's exit meeting because LeBron's going to Dwayne Wade's last game tonight, and Magic never mentioned that he was even thinking about leaving.
Maybe he just text him and say, "Yo, check your live stream."
Look,
Yeah, right.
I get that LeBron is the most important player on the team and one of the most important people in the organization, but she's the owner.
Yeah, I mean, to do that,
she's the owner.
to
of the
do that
She's
to
the
Jeannie.
sister.
Someday the story will be told. Jeannie will have nice things to say right now, but someday the story will be told, and we'll find out just how Jeannie feels about being blindsided.
Well,
in that
to
moment.
her credit, I thought Jeannie did a really smart thing with that statement last night. She absolutely took such the high road that now everybody, like, no one's even looking at her right now. She said, "Magic, we still love you. You're welcome here anytime, blah, blah, blah. Thank you for all you did, blah, blah, blah." It's like, wait a minute. What? You're not mad? You're not? She's like, just
Although,
moving on.
it's weird. They just had exit interviews.
They're still going on right now?
Oh, no, my understanding is no executives are going to
who would?
participate in Well, Rob Pelinka, whose power is growing. Jeannie Buss herself, who makes these decisions. Somebody from at the executive level.
I nominate
needs to
Bill
go out there.
Burtka.
Bill
Bert Belker,
He's
he's
not
got
gonna give us
90
much to
years
work
of
with.
knowledge.
You're a
So
Game of Thrones fan.
Yes.
Who is Jeannie Buss? She's not Cersei, clearly.
She thinks when she was on our show, she prides herself in being the mother of dragons. She thinks she's Khaleesi.
Nobody would quit on Cersei without saying something first.
That's true.
Well, you have to kill her first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she
Won't be
is.
that violent.
Yeah. Who is?
No, but
So
Cersei.
she thinks she's
Okay.
Mother of Dragons.
Yeah, she does.
I'll tell you who Rob Pelinka is. He's Littlefinger.
Oh God, yes.
Rob Pelinka.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's even a vague resemblance.
You know, I'm
of
trying to
it.
remember the name of that actor. He's had two unbelievable roles.
Oh, yeah, no,
he
he's
got to
great.
play Littlefinger, and he got to play the mayor of Baltimore in The
Yes,
Wire.
in The
It's
Wire.
Aidan Gillen, right? Isn't that the actor?
he's Tommy
Yeah.
Carcetti.
Tommy Carcetti, who is
But
great.
that's definitely who Pelinka is. He's Littlefinger.
So
Except-
does that make Luke Ned Stark? Like any moment his head gonna get chopped off?
Oh, he could
Or he could be Luke, could be Jon Snow. He could come back from the dead. Didn't we all have him
yeah.
dead
Well
today?
done, well
Yeah,
done.
Wait,
true.
Elsie, weren't we all
Yes.
talking about what time he would be fired?
Yes.
Well,
It kind
a
of-
Yes.
press release last night. There may have been a press release already written,
And
ready to go
Trav,
out
I
to
said
the
this
press
to you
last
this
night
morning.
after the game.
I think there's now a better than 50% chance Luke survives all this.
Oh, I think so.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think so.
I gave him 15% last week, and I'm
And you're
willing,
up- you're up to-
I'm
you're
willing,
up to
I'm willing
50
to up
now?
it up a little
I
bit.
gave him 0 yesterday, and now
Yeah,
I'd say
well,
it's
it's
like
not 0
75%.
anymore.
No,
Yeah,
it's
he
not.
was
0
Jon
anymore.
Snowed. He
Right.
was on the table,
I mean,
and
if
they were
Jeannie
applying
gets
magic to
if
him.
Jeannie has control of this thing, if she is the mother, she loves Luke Walton.
Who's
and
the?
she loves
Was
guys
it
that are in family.
Melisandre who bought Jon Snow back from the dead? I'm trying to
Yes.
Yeah,
remember.
it was
Yeah.
Melisandre.
Does she
yeah.
still love Magic Johnson? You said she'd said all the right things in the press release, but when she was home last night and this morning and wakes up to the mess that it is right now, was she betrayed?
I think
was she betrayed by somebody that she trusted and thought of as a brother? Did she get betrayed by Magic Johnson the way that went
If
down?
it were me, I would still love him because they've been through too much together, but I'd never trust him.
Yeah, I'd be extremely pissed off.
Yeah,
Extremely.
this might be his last job.
Hey,
the NBA.
how you guys feeling? 5 hours?
in the NBA?
Trev, you're not doing the show tomorrow, are you?
I am.
You are. You're going to do the show.
I'm doing the
and
show
come
and
to
then I'm
the
going to
game.
go.
Yeah, you're a gamer, man. You are a
Yeah.
gamer.
I'm a
That's the
grinder.
thing
I
about
do the
you.
work.
You're a grinder.
I'm not
exactly.
handcuffed.
No,
Yeah.
you should be.
He is not
be
an
Travis.
absentee
It's all
talk
Travis.
show host.
Exactly.
He's the
Full
opposite.
Travis. Mason and I are an hour early. Next.